Hi, this is Suzanne in Ohio. Have a small project share for you today. These are my fabric puffies. That's my name I gave to them. I didn't know what else to call them, but they are officially a mini collage type quilty thing. Just wanted to show you these and how cute they turned out. I used a series of bird prints on fabric, and I think the artist is Susan Wingett, but I can't say for sure. But anyways, I mounted each one of them and embellished them, and I want to show you how they turned out. Let me get you down here closer. And I guess they could be called mixed media because they've got other things on them too. And a little rolled flower and leaves that I made. So on the back, here's the back of it. There's sort of a hidden pocket, and I say that because the way the fabric lays on each other, you can hardly tell it's there. So I stuck a little piece of paper in each one so that you could see that. So there's one and two. Let's see if I can get a little closer. And three. These bird prints were beautiful. And I believe there is a coordinating fabric, sort of like a background fabric that matches it, although I didn't have that. So they're bordered off with just snippets of fabric and lace, and then embellished with fibers and these rolled flowers. Now that's very similar to the first one I showed you, but let's compare, because they just take on a different look when you embellish them differently. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so on this one, I'll point out this is one of my dyed laces, and I've mentioned in several other videos that I dyed a huge batch of fibers, fabric, I should say just fabric, lace, and paper, all to match. And this is a good example of how it came in so handy, because I don't have to go hunting around for something, a color that matches my project. I just snipped off a piece of it, and there it is. Another chickadee. In actuality, he's this way, so I put the words going that way. Those words are just individual letter stamps on cardstock or whatever I have. And again, the pockets, of course, goes without saying. And this butterfly was also part of this fabric, so I snipped him out and put him on there. Those rolled flowers are fun, aren't they? They really add a lot. I do them when I'm sitting around watching TV at night and don't feel like doing anything else. I have a whole bag of fabrics. And as you can see over here on this one, if my flower doesn't really match what I'm doing, I just put some distress ink on it. In this case, that flower was just made out of muslin, and I inked it with what's that one called? Honey, something honey. Okay, and this one, just a simple little pink flower print. See if I can get this to focus. And it just blended so sweet with, get my cursor in the right place here. It just blended so sweet with the color tones in this. There you go. I know that you can make these with hot glue. There's all kind of tutorials online about how to make them, but I sit around, I sew mine. I just do it by hand. My base is just a tiny little round piece of heavy Pellon, and then I just stitch the fabric on, and that just gives me something to do. As if I don't have enough Got enough projects lined up for the rest of my life. How about the rest of you? So, this one. And this is the last one. Freedom is a state of mind. And that rolled flower. Okay, so again, a pocket. Now, once you have a piece of artwork, I'm always encouraging people, use your artwork in more than one way. And here's what I did with this batch of puffies. The first thing I did was scanned them and made an image and saved it. And then I've loaded up all these images on my Etsy site. So you can get a digital print of the entire fabric work and download it and shrink it and make cards or journal embellishments or whatever you want to do. So every one that I've showed you so far is on my Etsy site as a digital download if you're interested. I'll put a link to my Etsy site below. But here's what I did. I was playing around with more of that acetate overlay concept. And my jump off point for inspiration was Shabby Dabby Doodah, girl from England. I can't remember her first name right now, but I already did one type of project with this acetate, and I thought I'd like to try this. So what I did was I printed this image on acetate. And for those of you that might not know, the acetate for overhead projectors and for inkjet printers. So the reason you want to use that is on the back side, the side that you will print on, there's a little rough surface, probably some type of a glue, and it causes the ink to stick to the acetate. So I printed them on the acetate, and then I simply made a little card and then overlaid. The acetate is laying on a piece of printed music paper. You can see the edge of it right there. Once you overlay it and lay it down, the two images seem to blend. And the reason I just loved this was it makes you search for the image. I mean, your eye is trying to search to make sense out of it, to see what is where. So it's a little bit of a mystery. I just love it. Now, if you made something like this, you could further embellish it with snippets of fabric coming out the edges or whatever you want to do. I'm trying to hold these so the glare isn't so bad. Now, I mounted this on a piece of paper, and this is one of my polymer paint bath dyed papers. And this one was a plum type color, and you can see it blends beautifully with this dragonfly and other things in there. So that was what I did with that. So I'll just show you a couple of these. Here's a tiny one. And see if we can get a good print up close there. It's just whimsical. Whimsical. Here's a tiny little one. The music notes really add a lot. Now, I printed those music notes off myself, and I did it on my printer by just copying a sheet of music, and I made it 2 degrees lighter than normal because I didn't want the music notes to be the focus. They're about equal. The value of the print and of the music notes are just about equal, so it works out good. I could have been a little bit lighter, the music notes, but I like the effect. And here's what this one looks like. Get the glare off of it. So they're just so sweet, the way they come out. And here's another piece of my hand-dipped paper, and that color matched perfectly the butterfly. I'll be doing a tutorial on my papers and lace and fabric pretty soon, but just watch for that. This one I mounted on blue because there is blue in the picture also. And here's a good opportunity for me to show you how good the papers come out. These, come on camera. The graining on this paint bath was just beautiful. And the camera is not going to do anything. Isn't that funny? Not funny when you're just bored watching it, but sometimes it just don't want to focus. So there's a backup view of it. Up close, those papers are just stunning. And little yellow one mounted on yellow. This one's mounted on pink because it matches the rolled flower in the image. You can see I left the strings all over them after I sewed the acetate on. And one more. And I mounted this one on green, and it picks up the color green and the leaves. So just a cute idea. There's a good shot of some of that grainy paper. Now I can see on my screen that you're not seeing the exact color of this. This is bright grass green. It looks kind of faded and bluey on my screen. But the papers are beautiful in real life. Okay, that's all. Nothing more, impressive. So, not that that was, but I'm done for right now. Hey, thank you all you YouTubers for sharing everything you know and helping us all out. Come and watch again.